Hello, friends. It's Monday, October 11th. It's me, Matt, and Felix coming through with your Chapo. Boys, how's it going?
Not bad. I'm in the midst of a social experiment.
Go on.
Earlier this month, in conjunction with the Halloween fun I've been having, and oh boy, do I have a fucking doozy tomorrow.
Okay, well, I mean,
do I have something disgusting tomorrow?
It can't be much worse than the one you did the other week. I mean, I was like, okay, could you explain for those who picked up on it, could you explain, last year it was the vote face guy, and you maintained that for like a whole month.
Yeah.
And then this
fun.
year you did, this one will take a little bit more explanation. It's a little bit more of a boutique internet character, but I was like, how could you possibly do this for a month? This is horrible. This is disgusting. Could you explain your previous, the one you just most recently did, and maybe give a preview of things to come for the spook season?
The previous one is based on a, I wouldn't say famous, but like niche, popular, just repulsive man. He's like a very horny, like conservative guy who takes pictures that like, it doesn't even look like there's Vaseline on his lens. It looks like he's like in an aquarium that's filled with grease from a griddle. Like it's so like fucked up looking. I don't know how he does it. And he posts these like he has this perfect rhythm down. It's like his own iambic pentameter where it'll be 5 posts in a row where it's like, she was in my DMs touching her wet thing. I worked her clit until she went insane. Like five of those in a row, or like bitching about how his like wife wouldn't suck him off before work. And then the 6th one will always be something like, Obama is ashamed of being white, so he hates white people. And then like back to like just the grossest sex stuff you've ever seen. And like sort of like self-taken boudoir Android phone shots of like his like naked body. And then like 6th post again. Drive-bys are ruining American cities. Thugs are everywhere because of Joe Biden.
Just for the listener here, if I could sort of paint a mental portrait for you of what these sort of erotic boudoir shots look like. Like Felix said, imagine like it's like being taken in an aquarium or something, but that aquarium is Buffalo Bill's basement, and the body is like a very furry man who's wearing a beanie, but like it's very obscured and blurry, but he's like sort of like laying in bed naked.
He's awesome,
except for a beanie.
He's so sick. But I just like I didn't want to do him for a month because it is like too gross, and I actually had to like do more work. Like vote face is easy because it's like I like literally would have been that if I had been prescribed Adderall as a kid. Like that just like would have just been me. Like I would have like gone to Tufts and like worked for Elizabeth Warren.
Tom Cruise is right.
Yeah. No. Like it's you should take Adderall when you're like 23, my age. And according to the math, was born in 1998. When you work at the computer all day, not when you're a kid. It's like just being a version of myself. I grew up around boat faces. It's quite easy. But like that guy, there was all this work I had to do. Like I was literally like putting Vaseline on my phone to take like the pictures. I had this like container of beans and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I like smeared Vaseline on my lens and like took a photo of it with like the fork sticking out diagonally. And I was like, it was like very fun. And it did, the thing that I always want to do, which is people are saying like, why do I follow you? Like, I hate you. Like my followers are dropping. Like that does make me happy. But it was just like, it was getting to the point where I would like have to like, not do other stuff. Like I would have to like not get work done to keep doing that. And I wanted to do a bunch of other things. And then the next thing's more upsetting. But
that's okay.
Yeah. Like spiritually upsetting. It's not like as physically gross as this, but it is like bad.
So like, so you're going from a guy who takes erotic boudoir photos of himself in in Joseph Fritzl's basement on a lens smeared with chicken fat. Like Frank the Tank had just been like handling his phone or something, and you're gonna come out, and then he's like replying to fucking I don't know Christy Gnome or something, going, "You're a heck of a lady."
That was my favorite thing, was like sending like horny replies to like Christy Gnome or like Lauren Boebert. You're a firecracker. I'd love to lick your clit until you're insane.
So we got something coming up worse than that.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I would say it's like more upsetting.
But there's another layer to this social experiment though, right?
Oh yeah, no. The other thing I did this month for Halloween, I didn't think it's fair that I'm like always scaring people. I decided to scare myself.
Ooh, okay.
And I opened my DMs. and like
getting good ones?
Most of this stuff is like what you would expect. It's like, I'd say like 60% of it's fine. It's like people asking about like a Sable video and like just like weirdly specific like hangout things, you know, shit that's like good natured, but like, when would I be there? You know, stuff that's ever like, you know, if you're ever in Newfoundland, or Newfoundland,
or Newfoundland,
or Newfoundland, soon to be announced.
Newfoundland is dropping.
Yeah, I work at like a black squirrel conservatory, and it's like, okay, well, I like don't think I'm going to be there, but I do appreciate that. Like, I would like to meet those squirrels, and you know, it's like you get like, you know, scam attempts and stuff, and like, you know, just like people sending you like news stories you saw like 12 hours ago. It's like, whatever. You don't have to. You don't have to.
You saw it.
Yeah,
we're talking about the original account. We're talking about the guy you're making fun of again.
Yeah, love to see his DMs, but I was like, well, this isn't like that interesting, and it's not like really paying off in the way I hoped. I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep it open because it's like, most importantly, it's a way for girls to contact me. But I got something better than a girl contacting me. I got 2 schizo DMs.
Okay, let's go.
Lay off N-word, but with 2 B's instead of G's. Thank you. Goodbye. It's over. Period. And then he blocks me, and then 7 hours later, he unblocks me. Seriously, can you fuck off, you goddamn freak? That'd be a huge favor. And then blocks me again. And this is the best one I saw. And this is directed at all of us, I think. So you guys should.
Okay, excellent.
All right, I'm here.
Nah, FR, what is wrong with you fucking freaks? The Middle East isn't the only place on the map, brother. Fucking learn or perish. Mir. So, like, paying off now. Like, but we'll see where this goes. We'll see where the experiment goes. And I hope I see nothing but death threats there after tomorrow.
So yeah, no, this is you're ringing the dinner bell here. They're gonna come running. They're gonna come running to your DMs, Felix. So
yeah,
we'll see how the social experiment continues.
And by the way, I was joking. If you're a woman, do not contact me. Fuck off.
unless you want your clit driven insane.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you want the best greasy beans you've ever had. That's not an entendre. I literally just mean some gross beans. They've been on my desk.
Well, we will see how this develops throughout. The spooky season, Halloween.
Do you guys have anything planned?
Not really. Sort of. I'm watching horror movies. So something planned, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. But it should be something cool day before Halloween. Anyway, so you know how like over the last since the beginning of this year now, we've been documenting something, just sort of filing news items away in something I like to call the Feral Files. And if you guys remember, like this is just the sort of ongoing sense that because of COVID and like Donald Trump and all these like knock-on like effects of natural disasters and just like people are really losing their minds and they're forgetting how to like behave and act in public. And we see evidence of this like on things like flights, supermarkets. I'm sure you could think of some examples, right? Now, when we were discussing our sort of ongoing the ongoing fraying of our social bonds. I think our conclusion to this is that yes, like people are turning feral, but as far as any like true societal breakdown goes, don't expect anything too dramatic unless the treat delivery system begins to break down. Does that sound about right?
That's been the main pacifier. That's the thing that keeps the average person from completely wigging out in a given social situation is the promise of treats.
Gentlemen, the treat delivery system is breaking down.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that is like that's the doomsday event. When Amazon stops showing those things that are like, do you want this in 3 minutes? That's like the clock is 2 minutes to midnight. Watch out.
I am referring to an article in today's New York Times about breakdown in global shipping and supply chains. Quote, I've never seen anything like this. The pandemic has disrupted international trade, driving up the cost of shipping goods and adding a fresh challenge to the global economic recovery. The article begins, on the coast of Los Angeles, more than 24 container ships filled with exercise bikes, electronics, and other highly sought imports have been idling for as long as 2 weeks. In Kansas City, farmers are struggling to ship soybeans to buyers in Asia. See, that's good though. We want less soy. So that's another thing that people refuse to be pacified by soy because the soybeans are not being shipped around.
They aren't having their tea levels secretly depleted without their knowledge.
This is why you have to read Financial Times, because they told the same story, but they actually included a graph that showed cock shame going down.
Cock confidence is getting into dangerous territory.
There have been more email lists are skyrocketing.
It says here, yes, in Kansas City, farmers are struggling to ship soybeans to buyers in Asia. In China, furniture destined for North America piles up on factory floors. Around the planet, the pandemic has disrupted trade to an extraordinary degree, driving up the cost of shipping goods and adding a fresh challenge to the global economic recovery. The virus has thrown off the choreography of moving cargo from one continent to another. At the center of the storm is the shipping container, the workhorse of globalization. Americans stuck in their homes have set off a surge of orders from factories in China, much of it carried across the Pacific in containers, the metal boxes that move goods in towering stacks atop enormous vessels. As households in the United States have filled bedrooms with office furniture and basements with treadmills, the demand for shipping has outstripped the availability of containers in Asia, yielding shortages there just as the boxes pile up at American ports. So this is sort of like what's going on right now? Yeah, just dozens of container ships are just idling off the coast of California, unable because there aren't enough truckers to deliver this stuff. I mean, there's just labor shortages, pandemic shit. I mean, this, we're beginning to see these knock-on effects pile up into a one big cascading disaster. A big question though. I mean, how will it affect Christmas this year though?
I asked this on Twitter and I still don't know the answer. What is the over/under on Black Friday deaths this year? It's got to be higher than in the past.
Well, really, you kind of have to look at Black Friday as the Stalingrad of Christmas. It's everyone, no one's happy with the human life that was lost at Stalingrad, right? But it's we have to do this. This is important. This is we need to go to the depths of humanity to beat back fascism. And Christmas magic is the same fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't think we're in a Stalingrad every fucking year to win back Christmas magic from the forces of evil, you're not living in the same reality as me.
The Walmart managers are telling all their new hires for the season, if we don't issue you a pricing gun, someone else will drop theirs and pick it up from them.
Yeah, and like Stalingrad, I mean, if this goes on much longer, could cannibalism be far off? I mean, because people are feral, but they have treats, and without the treats, you're going to be walking around out there. You're going to start looking like a treat. You're going to be looking like a nice big turkey leg on an abandoned island.
We're going to get new and exotic attempts to top the spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah. You need that, for the percent of people, the people who are, above the invisible class of, people who have to, wipe down shelves at CVS and, work for one of those, slave servant companies. the thing that like keeps you going is like the treat dangling over you while you're running on the treadmill. This is not looking good if we don't have those. I mean, I still think like Christmas is resilient. Like we've seen Christmas go through a lot. We had Christmas during World War II. Like there was
Christmas during the war on Christmas.
We had Christmas during the war on Christmas. There was even like this awful man, more of a monster, who stole everyone's presents. And Christmas was like, that was actually one of the best Christmases they had. Like they got like Christmas magic always finds a way is my point. But like everything else around Christmas will be terrible.
I mean, Matt, we were talking about this not too long ago, but like this is just, I mean, we all feel it, right? I mean, and this is still mostly at like the margins, especially if you have like, you know, an already pretty solidly middle class life. But like, you know, I mean, like they're on the serious end, there's like hospitals that like can't like, you know, treat car accident victims because the ICU is filled with people dying of COVID. But like at the periphery, I think we all kind of sense that like things just aren't working as well as they used to, or like it's beginning to break down. I think everyone kind of has this vague, and for the most part now, these are minor annoyances I'm talking about, but like the systems that govern our way of life, decadent and selfish as it may be, do seem to be sputtering a bit.
Yeah, you can feel the wheels coming off a little bit. You can't really trust anything. The conveniences that lubricate all of our social alienation. But the real question is like, what happens with that? And it's because we do not have anything like a politicized response. We can't channel that kind of anger into a effective resistance to it. Mostly what we can do is find someone close to us to vent it on, which is why you see people just going insane on airplanes and trying to chew flight attendants' ears off.
Yeah, they're like, if they would, like most things, this is something where it's like, man, it would be great to have like a functional institutional left in this country.
Yeah.
But the result is going to be like more public freakouts, and like there is going to be at least like one guy who does a mass shooting because just like he can't get a burger fast enough.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot more of this, like, because like you're right, there are no political institutions, or there's no center of gravity of which like people's feelings of dissatisfaction and that like life is getting shittier can be directed in a productive way. But I mean, where it can be directed at is people's rage at the people who are like on the hook for bringing them their treats, or in customer service, or you know, just anyone who is front facing to customers. I think will, you know, receive more of this wrath as time goes on. I just like one other thing from this New York Times article. It says, at the twin ports of Los Angeles and nearby Long Beach, unloading has been slowed by a dearth of dock workers and truck drivers as the virus has sickened some while forcing others to quarantine. It is anticipated that the backlog in volume will remain until midsummer, the director of the Los Angeles port, Gene Soroka, said at a recent board meeting. And you know, this is part and parcel of this other thing, because like, I mean, like all the, you know, like was it the like eviction moratorium is up, all the benefits are no longer being distributed, and like people thought that this would juice the labor market, and what we're seeing right now is that it really hasn't. Like
it's weird, like that making people just more desperate does not somehow make jobs appear out of thin air. It's weird.
Or I mean, like that there are jobs. Everyone's saying like, oh, like it's sort of like there's a certain level of like a kind of a capital strike going on right now, and like you see it in restaurant windows, or like a small version of it where they're just like, you know, please apologize for the minor inconvenience, but nobody wants to work. And what's left unsaid there is like, I mean, it's not like that there aren't people seeking employment. It's just nobody now that employers are desperate for employees. And you have a little bit of bargaining power. No one wants to work for the shitty wages and conditions that are being offered. And by not hiring or not giving a higher wage, it amounts to kind of a capital strike.
If they really want to do it without raising wages, if they want people to come back into, especially service industry jobs, and you don't want to raise wages, give them a gun.
Yeah.
That might get some people to go behind a counter. Just the knowledge that they're strapped. And like that the next time that they know that if somebody comes in and starts freaking out because their fucking their toy that they got with their Happy Meal wasn't wasn't the right eternal that they were looking for. They can just raise the front of their shirt and show the fucking handle of the gun. That might get them behind the counter.
I think we may see as like a mainstream Republican position in the next year or two is like taking prisoners and making them work at Best Buy.
Oh yeah.
Now that's definitely coming. Some sort, and then or like to go back to some sort of like the gang press system.
Yeah,
where we're just like shanghaiing people into like working service industry jobs, or making sure people get their treats. Because I mean, I guess we were like started out half joking with this, but like I mean, it is true. Like if these conveniences that paper over all of the disillusionment and violence and terror of contemporary American life go away, then like what people are left with is just the fear and terror. And that's not a pleasant thing to contemplate.
You need to keep this bitch going. I was talking with my friend about the PS5 the other day, and like I don't know
your friend who owns Sony.
Yeah,
your uncle.
yeah. He said, out of everyone who has it, I'm the nicest one. But we're so like with PS5, like no one can get one really. You can, if you really want one, you can like get one on eBay for $800, which is like $300 above MSRP, what it should retail at. But like there are multiple reasons why like they can't get them out there. Part of it is like supply chain, like microchip stuff. Another part of it kind of is like crypto mining. Like people are just like, they just fucked up the market for graphics cards. Someone was telling me. And we were talking about like Bitcoin and how it's like, if you had described that exact scenario like 10 or 20 years ago, it's like, okay, like one of the biggest electronics and entertainment companies in the world, like can't make its huge new product fast enough because of this like weird internet, like speculative thing. It would be like, oh, they're going to crush that. They're just going to like absolutely like destroy that thing. And now it's just like, man, they couldn't even knock over Bitcoin mining. They couldn't even knock over like crypto mining. Just like a bunch of like computer guys buying Radeons has like, that's not the main thing crippling them, but it's certainly not helping.
Well, this is actually a perfect segue into the next item I have to discuss. And the first one file that under feral files. The second one file under our economic system is super rational and getting more rational every day. I'm referring to, of course, NFTs. Do you guys own any NFTs?
Yeah, no. I own a Juicy Mike. I own a Wet Jerry. And then the sort of crown jewel of my collection. This is the thing that's going to help me retire and just really establish like a dynasty. And that's my Melvis.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not know you're a Melvis holder.
Yeah. It's like really the most valuable thing in my life over my friends and family.
This is an article about something that happened in the world of NFTs. Investors spent millions on evolved apes NFTs. Then they got scammed.
What?
No.
I mean, that can't be right.
No.
It says here, cryptocurrencies are riddled with a dazzling array of scams. Rug pulls, a term for when developers take the money and run, are common. And NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, aren't immune to that old trick, as thousands of investors of a project called Evolved Apes found out on Friday. Evolved Apes is described on NFT marketplace OpenSea as a collection of 10,000 unique NFTs trapped inside a lawless land. They are fighting for survival. Only the strongest ape will prevail, it says, referring to the project's much-hyped fighting game, which hasn't materialized. A week after the project launch, the anonymous developer known as Evil Ape, who promised that game, vanished along with the project's official Twitter account and website. But they left traces on the blockchain that shows they siphoned 798 Ether, which is $2.7 million, out of the project's funds in multiple transfers. The funds, derived from the initial public sale of NFTs and commissions on the secondary market, were meant for project-related expenses like marketing. I mean, it is not a good sign for the economy when people's confidence in what used to be a reliable, something like, treasury bonds, the Evil Ape. If people are losing faith in the Evil Ape, then, I mean, we got another big problem on our hands, fellas.
I do think this is really awesome, like in the face of just like supply chains collapsing and like our shitty infrastructure not being able to like keep up with the demand. Like just the one thing is supposed to be able to do just falling apart. And then you have this, which is like the only thing we still do, which is just like a scam, but not even one you can like really figure out or is even really like that like when someone explains NFTs to me, I
literally don't understand it. My brain turns off.
Yeah, no.
Excuse me, it is a non-fungible token. What about those words doesn't make sense?
Okay, like no. As I understand them, they are JPEGs.
Yeah.
They're images on your computer that the blockchain,
Yes.
whatever the fuck that is, certifies as you owning.
You
now own that JPEG. Whereas if you had just simply done a screenshot of the JPEG, this is my favorite thing now with like, because I've gone down something of a rabbit hole into this corner of Twitter, into the lazy lions, the sleepy tigers, the evil apes, these people like they make it their Avi, and they're just all talking about the various investment assets that they own, and like they're talking about spending, I don't know, $5 to $10 to maybe sometimes $20,000 on a JPEG of probably the most wretched looking drawing I've ever seen in my life. And look, whenever I talk shit about cryptocurrencies or NFTs or whatever, I always get like a couple of people who are ostensibly on the left bitching at me about it. And look, I don't know or care about, how crypto can destabilize state-backed currencies and liberate the planet. I don't fucking care. I'm not even going to talk about the environmental toll. The environmental toll taken, but to essentially like verify that you own like a fucking picture of a monkey smoking a cigarette or something like that. I will limit my loathing for this phenomenon to purely aesthetic grounds, and that like if you look at any of these assets being traded, they are like the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like sub-mental cretinous drawings by and for morons. And the fact that this evil ape person ripped all these people off, I say good.
Yeah, I mean, like you can talk a lot of shit about this, but the left should actually be using 3-card Monty to destabilize international finance. Think about it. If we got all the military-industrial complex, the top 5 commercial banks in the United States, and all the heads of NATO, like in front of our table, and we put like $100 under a shell, and we got really good at moving our hands, and it costs $5 to play. Like by my calculations of doing that for a year straight, like they'd be out of money. And we'd have all of it.
I just like something like earlier in the paragraph here where it says it's described as a collection of 10,000 unique NFTs trapped in a lawless land. They are fighting for survival, and only the strongest ape will survive. I mean, they're talking about just once again just JPEGs of like I said, the scrawlings of just the most juvenile mind imaginable, but there's this narrative about it. There's like there's some sort of like I don't know, like lore invested in this, that you're buying part of the story or something. It makes no fucking sense to me. None.
Did you see the Walter Benjamin NFT?
No.
No, someone made like an NFT where it's like a highly like pixelated, like that shitty pixel art that was very popular like 10 years ago. Of Walter Benjamin smoking.
That's about right.
It's fucking dope.
Part in the age of
I bet
mechanical
he would have
reproduction,
loved
baby.
that.
I mean, yeah. I think he would have, honestly, because
You do?
Yeah, when he was this is why he killed himself, for Christ's sake, to avoid this stuff. So if you brought him back and showed him, it'd be like, yep, made the right choice.
And now in my research to this, like like the thing people are doing is just once again, the NFT owners, the blockchain certified owners of these the dog shit. Just you've paid $3,000 for dog shit. They will share images of the NFT that they own on Twitter and be like, here's my investment assets. And then wiseacres, jokers will then just drag and just right click, save image as, and then reply to them being like, I now own this too. And the line that I have seen about this idea of how like, oh, I own this JPEG, whereas you just have a copy of it, even though that the one I own is in fact not an original piece of art either. It's just something that like, I don't know, a computer has said is real. They say taking a screenshot of someone's NFT and passing it off as your own is the equivalent of taking a selfie with someone else's Lamborghini and passing it off as your own, or just like they're saying like that is the equivalent of like screenshotting someone's NFT is like posing in, let's just say at a Dallas area car dealership or hospital and pretending that you own it.
Would you say it's like being like an X-ray technician and saying that you're a surgeon who owns 4 hospitals?
Yes, they would say that.
Yeah,
I would say that by their weird I don't know the weird metaphysics that governs all this, I would say by their own definition, me screenshotting an NFT and saving it on my hard drive is the equivalent of me stealing your Lamborghini.
Well, yeah. I mean, the point of like getting a Lamborghini anyway is like so you can drive really fast and mostly so people can see you do it because it's cool. Like it's a cool car. But like the only people impressed by like seeing that you own like a Melvis are like other NFT losers. Like no Instagram model is going to be like, oh my god, you have a slimy guy. Oh my god, this pussy's yours. Make my clit insane.
But that's the thing, is that it doesn't do anything, and it isn't really any different if you own the thing or if somebody clicks on it. The difference is that it is a speculative asset.
Yeah.
It could hypothetically be sold to somebody else for more than you paid for it. That's the point of the thing. It is because there is no more places to profitably invest money in the economy. We have to invent fake speculative markets where we do all of the negative part of economic productivity. We pump things into the atmosphere, but you don't actually create anything because there's nothing to create. There's no value to be made doing that. There's only value to be made in people speculating that if they get in at X time, they can get out with Y amount of money. That's it.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like really. I was when this first started happening, I was like, well, like I think this is stupid, but like I want to keep an open mind because it sort of reminds me of like skins in video games, and like there is actually like an interesting study of people creating their own speculative markets with Counter-Strike Global Offensive skins, because once like Chinese players were allowed to enter the market, like the skin market exploded. And it's like is sort of interesting that they created this speculative bubble, and that like, you know, there are guys who have like lockers that are worth millions of dollars. And like that is fucking stupid, but I would have to argue it's less stupid because it's like, well, like none of this should be worth more than like $5, like really. But if you had like you can use that thing in the game. Like, what is the enjoyment of the NFT beyond just speculation?
Well, just, I mean, the joy you get when you look at a photo of a lion with like wearing sunglasses and like sipping a beer.
Yeah, no.
Or like,
there's no like utility of it. They're not like really backed by anything. It's just like whatever like YouTube guy says that like this one's dope. And you're like, oh, I beat the market today.
But they're so transparently not dope. And like,
no, they suck.
They suck so bad. They're lower than Pogs. Like Pogs had better art than
you
NFTs.
could play with Pogs.
But that's just it. It doesn't matter. Like it should look like shit. It should literally be pictures of shit. That would be the ideal NFT, because we have stripped any fantasy of value being part of any of these transactions. Artistic value, use value. It is purely a speculative asset. I'm betting that some idiot is going to pay more for this than I did, or somebody's going to want to launder money for like buying fentanyl or something by using one of these things. That's it.
I mean, that's probably it. Like everyone, whenever you make fun of these and people are like, actually, these are dope, or like the left should use those, you could probably trace that back to like a server farm run by the Sinaloa cartel. They're like, no, these are cool. This is a cool place to put money. And then later legally extract that money.
And, you know, before anyone squeals at me or whatever, like to the extent to which otherwise rightly mentally ordered people have because like look, everyone's struggling these days. Everyone wants to like liberate themselves from their shitty job. Everyone could use a little bit more money, to just to have a little leisure time, to just buy something nice, to just do something for themselves or their loved ones. I'm not begrudging how anyone gets their bag to a certain degree. But like, okay, but like, I don't. If you hit big on an evil ape or a sleepy tiger, and you bought it for $3,000 and sold it for like, I don't know, twice that, or you made a couple grand off of it or whatever. Look, I'm not mad at that like any more than I would be mad at someone who like won big gambling on sports or at a casino, right? Well, I mean, it's just like the problem. It's just like, but. Gambling is not a good good investment strategy for your future, and it certainly isn't.
Hold up. Let's not go crazy here.
I mean, like most of the time, you are going to lose money. Most of the time, and if it's not, it can be fun. It can be a risk that if you have a certain amount of money that you can play around with, that it could be worthwhile taking, but it is not a way to improve your future or to count on anything. But more than that, it is also not a means to like liberate humanity or make the world a better place. And that's really where I have an issue with crypto and NFTs and things like that.
What if the working class got together, pulled all their money and got one giant NFT and then sold it to rich people?
Ooh.
And then all the money would be redistributed downward. Have you thought of that? No, you didn't.
You know when the Trump Taj Mahal failed, that was working class gamblers organizing to beat the House, and Donald Trump killed himself in shame after that.
I mean, like, you have to understand that you're the mark here.
Yeah, but that's true. Like everything, it's like everyone knows the shit's a scam. They just think that the fact that they're aware that it's a scam will ensure that they are one of the ones who gets out before they get screwed. Like that, like the awareness of the fraudulence of it is what gets in marks, because that's what makes them feel like they're in on it. That's literally what elected Donald Trump.
My favorite argument that they have is like when you sort of bitch about like the environmental impact, they're like, oh, well, what about computers? What about cars? And it's like, yeah, but this is like a new thing that doesn't do anything for like anybody.
Computers and cars serve a function.
This is a pointless new thing. You're just like, you might as well just be like burning coal in your backyard for no reason.
Yeah. No, yeah. Operating a coal power plant in your backyard and running it 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, so that it will one day send you an email saying that you own a wet Melvis.
Yeah, I mean, even like if you were running a power plant, at least you could like power. This is just like nothing. This is like, you like took, if you like took a shit in the middle of a store and you're like, well, people like fart every day. It's like, yeah, but you like made a new shit. There's like a new puddle of diarrhea there.
I mean,
all like, the women left. I can't make their clits insane.
Remember, like, every time the debt ceiling comes up, and apparently it's been averted this time, but like every time it comes up, there's always this question about like, can they just mint $1 trillion coin? I mean, this is, in my opinion, what Joe Biden should have done immediately, like instead of negotiating at this at all, mint $1 trillion coin, but they should mint $1 trillion NFT, a wet Jerry. And use that to fund our make sure we don't go bankrupt.
That would be pretty sick if you like made an NFT based on like Joe Biden's memories.
It's a lion that looks like Joe Biden.
Yeah, or like a milkshake. They could make the first GIF NFT. They could make like a milkshake that's rotating 360 degrees.
A line of NFTs all related to the flickering images that fill Joe Biden's dying brain every day.
Yeah, like that would be all. That would be, those would be
exactly.
Those would be the first good NFTs. It would be like you would just sit in a room with Joe Biden and like get him to like talk, like give flawless memories from like 1939, and he was like, African American man riding a donkey, with one eye, and you're like, draw it. Like, get a police sketch artist, draw it super quick. Boom, sold.
I got the razor blade that got put in the rain barrel to make it rusty NFT.
Yeah, $1 trillion. I was walking to Sunday school. A woman in a red dress opened her legs in front of her living room window at all of us.
I'm sorry.
Later, we found out they put her on the pills. Whatever that is, draw it.
Look like a tennis ball, Jack.
A Chinese guy caught in a molasses barrel. Draw it.
I just a few more items from the article here. It says, according to Mike Crypto Bull, who did not share their real name due to their standing in the community, the Evolved Apes community discovered that the social media competition winners, a marketing activity to create buzz, hadn't received their NFT prizes from the project, and the artist hadn't been paid either. I mean, once again, there's some good news in the world today. But it says here, even with the money gone, the Evolved Apes community plans to carry on. Unlike with cryptocurrencies, NFT rug pulls leave behind JPEGs and a narrative surrounding them. Mike Cryptobull explained in the report that he and others would build a new project called Fight Back Apes out of the ashes of Evolved Apes. Evolved Apes holders would be automatically approved for a Fight Back Apes token linked with the art from the old project. This is what I'm talking about. This idea that, like, unlike when cryptocurrency scams, which just literally leave you destitute, the rug pulls here will leave you destitute, but it will leave you with a JPEG with a story behind it.
Yeah, a story about here is a group of rubes.
We're starting
you can market to, and be pretty sure that you're going to get like a critical mass of them to just give you more money.
Hey guys, I know everyone is really mad at Enron. Well, we're starting Enron too.
Oh man, it says here, there are more lessons from this bitter experience. Trust your gut if something doesn't feel right, Josh Crypto Bull said. If there is a mistake, which happens, how it is dealt with will tell you a lot. He added, there were multiple red flags in Evolved Apes early on, but 99% of us were just blinded by the art and the promise and the potential of profits we assumed would come. I love the idea that we were willing to overlook all of the red flags because the art was so good.
Oh my God. If you say that, you should be sentenced to Montessori school. It's like you did not, there was not enough liberal arts stuff growing up for you. Damn.
Well, like I said, our economic system, super rational, getting more rational with every day.
It's going to be sick when this is crypto and it's so baked into the system that we're never going to get rid of it. When you get to the point that JP Morgan is making money off of it, it's okay, it's never going to go away. Even if it does destroy everything like credit default swaps are, they're still going to be there. People are still going to go back to them. But I am excited for when the chairman of the Federal Reserve has to make speeches where he's the new epic sloth art is really dope, and we're really excited for the dopeness in the community and what this means for the U.S. economy.
I mean, that's the other that word community comes up over and over again because they're it's not just about money; it's about a community. It's about a community of dope ass art and artists, and I just I don't know. It sickens me. It really looks to me like the death of civilization, the death of all aesthetic concern about art, just the stripping of any meaning out of everything into just purely into a purely totally useless speculative asset that all of these things will enrich a tiny fraction of the most reprehensible people on the planet. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, but the art's dope.
I can't wait until the next global economic crash is caused by something called Stoner Hippo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, they has to get bailed out with the $1 trillion Biden coin.
I saw someone's some loser posting, the thing where you pretend you heard a kid say something.
Yeah.
And they were I just heard a kid say, I'm so beyond equities. His parents are awesome. And it's no, all of them and you for hearing it, if you're not lying, should be killed. Because the kid was talking about NFTs. And it's that's proof that it's stupid. Like that's because this just is like Pokemon cards, but you can't even play a card game. Like a 10-year-old shouldn't be able to like talk about a financial instrument with fluency.
Yeah, if you were under the age of 30, you shouldn't even know what the word equity means. Get a life.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on from NFTs, I thought we'd close out today by taking a little bit of a test. You guys down for that? A little pop quiz, hotshot? What do you think?
No, I love tests.
I've got one question. Is it a non-fungible test?
No, this is
Because if
very
it's
fun.
fungible, I'm walking.
This is very.
That's
fungible.
what the ACT should be. It should be like you have 2 hours to draw like a dope ape. Sink or swim.
Okay, I would have gotten into fucking Harvard if that was the case.
That sounds pretty dope. All right.
Let's see here. It says so. This is a quiz by David Byler and Yan Wu. Will you fall into the conspiracy theory rabbit hole? Take
No.
our quiz and find out. This is a quiz according to the Washington Post that can be used to gauge how far down the conspiracy, how conspiracy brained are you? Do you have the correct thoughts? Do you have the correct understanding of history, or do you have a weird conspiratorial view of history? So let's just dive into this quiz here. There's a little preface to it, and it says, "Who believes in conspiracy theories? Statistically speaking, almost everyone. A team of researchers recently showed several thousand Americans a list of 20 common conspiracy theories and asked if they believed them. These included false conspiracy theories about the John F. Kennedy assassination, 5G cellular wireless technology, Barack Obama's birth certificate, COVID-19, and climate change. The result? 9 in 10 Americans believed in at least one conspiracy theory." Conspiracy police are coming to arrest me right now. The study, led by Adam Enders of the University of Louisville and Joseph Oshinsky of the University of Miami, surveyed a representative sample of 2,023 Americans in March 2020 and 2,015 more in October 2020. This article uses questions from their surveys to test your knowledge and your credulity. So, can you tell fact from fiction, or will you fall down the rabbit hole? Scroll down to find out. Okay, so first question here. Let's get started. Which of the statements below is true? Statement 1. Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire accused of running an elite sex trafficking ring, was murdered to cover up the activities of his criminal network.
True.
Would you say that is true or false?
That's definitely true.
Yeah, that's 1,000% true. I'm clicking. Oh no, actually no, we're wrong.
Oh, what?
We're wrong. Sorry. Here.
You guys are so fucking stupid.
Let me just go to the other statements here.
I can't believe I'm going to fail this quiz because I agreed to take it with all of you. This is the same thing
That's
that
the peril
sunk.
of group projects.
Yeah, this is the thing that sunk me on the ACTs as well.
So the other statements to determine their veracity are: President John F. Kennedy was killed by a conspiracy rather than by a lone gunman.
Yeah.
That's also absolutely true.
Definitely true.
Okay. Oh no, we're saying that's okay. Apparently, according to quiz, that's wrong. All right. I just okay. Second, third one. The FBI kept tabs on civil rights leaders such as the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., attempting to find compromising information and damage his reputation.
They also killed him.
Yeah, they did murder him.
That is the one correct answer according to this.
Oh,
quiz.
you mean the most like anodyne, like we all know this, like unactionable part of it?
The thing where like it's the only one on here where like it's the agency that did it, like being like, oh yeah, we did it, but we're done doing bad stuff.
The one they admitted to doing. This is shit is such like how you doing, fellow conspiracy theorists.
And then when it says,
wait, look, we're not total squares. Like we know that the FBI bugged Martin Luther King, right?
Yeah, like there in 40 years, like there's going to be another one like this, and like Epstein will still be on there because it will like replace JFK, just how like time cycles things in and out. But then like the one like true answer they'll give you, the true thing, like the limited hangout one for that one will be like, the FBI, like, you know, set up like mentally disabled people to like try to commit mass shootings because like in 30 years, they'll finally admit to that. And then that will be the thing where like, oh yeah, but we don't, that was like when we were bad in 2019.
Yeah, we figured it out. We don't do that anymore.
It's I mean,
even
like,
though there's never ever been any real negative consequences for any of these agencies doing anything, and there's never been any actual uncovering of any of them while they were happening. We all just decided to stop doing that shit.
And this is a pattern that will be continue throughout the rest of this quiz. But in the correct answer about the FBI kept tabs on civil rights leaders. Okay, he says attempting to find compromising information and damage his reputation. I mean, that's one way to put it. You could also put it that they attempted to get him to commit suicide, and when that failed, you fill in the rest.
Also, like kept tabs. Even the one they're willing to admit is like made ridiculously anodyne. Kept tabs on, illegally wiretapped, you could say.
Yeah, keeping tabs is like you do that. It's like when my cat's in the living room. I'm like, yeah, what are they up to?
Well, they can't say like illegally wiretapped, because then that would like make you the thing that they're doing to like everyone now. But then their answer to that would be like, no, but the FISA court.
Now the last statement in the first question is, regardless of who is officially in charge of the government and other organizations, there is a single group of people who secretly control events and rule the world together. I mean, that's obviously false. I mean, there's probably 2 or 3 secret organizations.
Yeah, and they have conflicting and overlapping agendas, and that they're not all on the same page all the time. That's ridiculous.
So, now, the interesting part about this quiz is the answers that they give you that are supposed to correct you. So, obviously, the first one, it's if you believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, I just don't understand like how you can justify that in your head. So Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire accused of running an elite sex trafficking ring, was murdered to cover up the activities of his criminal network. Absolutely true. According to the Washington Post, wrong. Here's how they justify it. New York City's chief medical examiner concluded Epstein killed himself, and there's little credible evidence of an alternative explanation. Still, half of Americans think there's more to this story. Gee, I wonder why. There is little credible evidence to suggest otherwise. I mean, like,
they're not reading enough Washington Post. You got to read the Post, folks, to get the truth.
Can I just say how funny it is? Like, this is the thing that's supposed to draw you back from conspiracies.
Yeah.
Is like the thing that might as well be like the internal newsletter at the CIA.
Yeah,
being like, you're being unreasonable.
Yeah, I mean, but of course that's not the point. Like, there is absolutely no. I don't think anyone involved in this has any belief that they're going to turn anybody from conspiracy theories. This is pandering to their audience of lanyard dickheads who can like click on the right answers and then pat themselves on the back that they're not like those crazy people.
Yeah.
Just for the JFK one, President John F. Kennedy was killed by a conspiracy rather than a lone gunman. It says wrong. The evidence is clear. Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone to assassinate President Kennedy. But 44% of Americans believe this theory, and half of Americans think Epstein was murdered. A third of Americans think a secret cabal controls the world. The evidence is clear, takes you to a hyperlink, and it goes to a Slate.com article by Fred Kaplan.
I'm surprised they didn't just link to Gerald Posner's shitty book.
Yeah, so there is no credible evidence to suggest that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. The Manhattan coroner's report, it's all there. I mean, the thing about his hyoid bone being fractured, or just like how physically he could have hung himself in that cell, and just like leaving all of that aside, just the fact that he literally was a sex trafficker connected at the highest levels.
And all the fucking cameras just malfunctioned because the guards had Victorian sleeping caps on.
Connected intimately to one former president, one current president, and the royal family of England.
How do these people like rationalize when Acosta said like, oh, I was told not to really go that far because he belongs to intelligence.
He belongs to intelligence. That's part of the public record. Okay. The next question that we're going to be truth hunters for. Partisanship plays a role in what people believe. Both Republicans and Democrats are prone to believe conspiracy theories that make the other party look bad. Can you pick the true statement, or will you be blinded by party loyalty? Okay, first statement. Republicans cheated their way to the 2000, 2004, and 2016 presidential elections. I love the wording of this. See if you can spot
it's three,
what they're doing
it's
here.
All three or none.
It's
That's
all
it.
three or none. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You could... I think 2016 is the least credible of those, but you could pick either one of them and have a pretty okay case. But like certainly 2000 is
was out in the open.
bulletproof, out in the open, out in the open cheating.
They sent a bunch of hooting psychos to stop counting, and then they used their control of the courts to stop a recount that would have changed the result.
By every conceivable, like by every metric, if the recount was allowed to continue, Al Gore would have won Florida and been the president.
Which is what was so funny about everyone freaking out about Trump or like future Republicans nullifying an election. It's like they already did that, and you did nothing about it. It's not going to be the triumph of fascism. It's going to be business as usual.
And look, I mean, like, like I don't know like how bulletproof it is or not, but 2004 there were some, you could look at Ohio as Secretary of State Ken Blackwell and his role in it. John Conyers tried to open hearings into it. He was just about the only one.
Ohio's a little wacky. There was like one place where they just kicked everybody out while they were counting the ballots because of an unspecified terror threat that was never followed up on. It's a little eyebrow raising.
No, but like, and that one is great because it's all three or nothing. You can't just say, "Oh, well, like, definitely at least two of them, at least two of them." Republicans cheated.
You have to. And then, if you're someone who spent the Trump years rolling their eyes at the fucking conspiracy liberals freaking out about Russia, you have to accept that if you think 2000 was in any way illegitimate, then that makes you the same as a person who thinks that Putin made everybody vote for Trump with Facebook.
Now, their answer to this, if you said Republicans did cheat their way to those three presidential elections, it says wrong. Republicans won fairly in 2000, 2004, and 2016. How could, like 2004 and 2016, I can understand. How can you possibly say they won fairly in the 2000? I mean, the answer is for the Washington Post to say otherwise.
Because it went through. If it went through the process, it was legitimate by definition.
All right. Next conspiracy question. Hillary Clinton conspired to provide Russia with nuclear materials. I don't even know. I'm not even familiar with this.
Oh God, that's the uranium one shit. That's uranium one shit. That is like that's pure Fox News. Like Hannity talked about that for like 4 straight years.
If you're like a Nelly Orrhead, like you're like you like broke your mouse clicking yes on this one. Okay. This is like all the people who are like Glenn Simpson knew Nellie Orr and there's nothing about it in the news. It's like they love this one.
This is the kind of one where like even if it's true, I don't care. Why do I give a fuck if Ukraine has fucking uranium or if Clinton did it? Not that it has anything to do with anything. This one is purely just as a gotcha because they brought this one up. Hannity turned this one into a story because they were the Democrats were talking about Trump's relationship to Ukraine, and he was doing a jiu-jitsu deal.
Okay. I'm gonna skip the limited hangout answer, and I'm gonna go like the last one is Barack Obama faked his citizenship to become president. Easy, no one cares. Like you get rid of that immediately.
Once again, another one where if he did, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I hope he did. Honestly, I hope he did.
That would have been that would have required some initiative and been pretty wily and interesting.
It's like the people who are obsessed with this idea that like Ilhan Omar married her brother to get citizenship in the country. Fine. I'm like, I don't know if it's true or not, but like I hope it is.
Like as far as I know, like Barack Obama's like Barack Obama is like one of the paramount villains of the 21st century, helped doom this fucking country, and his Machiavellian Frank Underwood plan to do it was get A's. That was his that was it. Get A's on tests. It's like if he's like fucking like as a kid falsifying birth certificates and stuff, it's like, okay, there's somebody worthy of the position.
Or maybe I mean, it wasn't him. Maybe it was his mom who was probably agency connected. There's
either way, just something less banal than I'm gonna just go to school and be good at it. I'm gonna do a lot of homework.
Listen to the true answer, the one that they want you to pick, because the way it's worded is so fucking telling. All right. During Ronald Reagan's presidency, government officials secretly and illegally sold weapons to Iran and used the money to fund Nicaraguan revolutionaries. Can you spot the huge fucking lie there?
You know what the Contra in Contra is in front of?
Revolutionary.
Yes.
And okay, so this is the Washington Post. They're like, okay, what was the previous one? The wiretapping Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Now that this is now just like they've admitted this, everybody knows this case. Books have been written about it. It's like no one can argue the opposite. It's the way they admit it that is still shading the truth to such an insane degree, because they're like, oh, this is safe. Yeah, that's every sensible person knows Reagan illegally funded revolutionaries in Nicaragua. okay, leaving aside the part that they were not revolutionaries,
Yeah.
they were Contras, a more illegally funded death squads, like illegally funded the extermination of like the rural populations of like large parts of Central America.
And also,
would be another way to put
with,
that.
cocaine sales that the
yeah.
United States abetted and covered up and participated in.
Major thing they're leaving out. Major thing.
It's like the FBI wiretap. It's like the FBI keeping tabs on Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders. It's just like you could read that now and be like, oh well, I know bad things happened in the past, but keep tabs. And then with Reagan, it's just like, okay, he didn't fill out the right forms, but look, he was funding revolutionaries. Okay,
Yeah. The freedom fight,
these are humanitarian
the moral
aid.
equivalent of our founding fathers.
Yes, as Ronnie Reagan said. Okay, it says here. Real-world events sometimes follow this formula as well. Example, the Reagan administration acted secretly and illegal in the Iran-Contra affair. The FBI did spy on King, but the key difference is that these real incidents are backed up by evidence, facts, and witnesses. Conspiracy theories are different. They're just theories. I mean, also just a theory is gravity and evolution. Most have no evidence to support them. I mean,
I don't
there's
know,
a
man.
lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence.
It's like you get to pick. It's almost like you get to pick which evidence counts when you work for the Washington Post.
They often connect unrelated facts to create an impression of plausibility. Yet almost everyone believes at least one. According to Enders, one thing I noticed a lot in talking to colleagues, journalists, and students, people don't realize that a lot of people just believe weird stuff. A lot of this commotion about conspiracy theories, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, is fueled by this complete misunderstanding of the basic contours of public opinion. Which brings us to our third fact-finding mission. Conspiracy theorists commonly seize on subjects that most people have little expertise in, such as health and science, and therefore cannot be easily debunked. Half of Americans believe one of the claims in the list below, but only one is backed by evidence. Which of these is true? Number 1. The dangers of genetically modified foods are being hidden from the public. I mean, personally, I don't really give a shit about GMOs. It's not really my thing, but at the same time, if you don't think that ConAgra and Monsanto are covering up really heinous shit about the food supply in this country,
how many? If a company finds out, oh, this stuff we make is bad, do they ever go, well, shit, we better stop making it then? When has that ever happened? We have a pretty comprehensive list of other times when we know the opposite occurred, when they said, oh yeah, tough shit.
I think it's short-sighted to just say GMOs. I think it's the amount of more obese Americans doesn't triple in 30 years because the food's great.
Yeah, I know. It's it's not necessarily brainwashing us or whatever, but it's clearly the shit that they're feeding us is bad.
Yeah, and I don't know enough to tell you that that's because it's GMO. It's a ton of reasons, but it's ridiculous. It's another one of those things where it's oh yeah, no, in the 50s they told everyone char grilled meat and white bread was the healthiest thing to eat, and then they were oh yeah, we were wrong. But they would never do that again.
They had cigarette commercials done by doctors talking about how it enhances your Q zone.
Yeah, GMOs is not really an issue that I'm really into. I mean, I personally, I think whether something is genetically modified isn't necessarily good or bad. It does just because something's a GMO doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for you or evil or poison or whatever. It's sort of similar to was it Jordan Peterson was just I've noticed that there's been no skepticism of big pharmaceutical companies by the left and their vaccine or whatever. It's my skepticism of Pfizer is not that comes from the fact that their drugs don't work. It comes from the fact that they do work and they're hoarding it and letting people die because they're price gouging on it.
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy about Pfizer that I think is relevant to it's not whether insulin works or not, or whether chemotherapy can save your life.
Yeah.
Okay, next is...
Yeah, talk about someone who does not distrust anything that they make. And I mean anything. He'll try all of it.
He likes one very specific brand of their wonder drugs. Next up is... I mean, the thing is, the dangers of our food supply are absolutely being hidden from the public.
Yeah,
and GMOs there is the distraction that you'd be well, I'm reasonable. I'm not some sort of new agey nut who only eats organic or whatever. But so many of the ingredients that are in candy, food preservatives, not just junk food, but like almost everything that you eat or buy in a supermarket or gas station in this country contains chemicals, preservatives. It contains things in it that in any European country, it is illegal to feed those same chemicals to animals, to livestock. It is just simply because they've determined that it is detrimental to human life. And we are like the food supply system in this country views Americans as slightly lower than cattle.
Yeah.
In terms of what we're willing to expose them, like what it is legal to knowingly expose people to.
Yes.
Without their consent, largely, because I mean, like, it's not like this is an informed consent thing.
Right.
You just sort of you buy some ding dongs, you're like, oh, delicious. Okay, next up. The U.S. government secretly dosed Americans with LSD in an attempt to develop mind control technology.
Well, yeah.
Well, now, this is the correct answer.
Yeah.
It says correct. The operation was called MK Ultra, and it ended in the 70s.
And they would never do anything like that
Why would
ever
they-
again.
Yeah.
They just got bored. They got bored with it. It was like, oh, this is another guy freaking out, thinking that he's Jesus that shoots the president. Man, this is boring.
I think this is like, I have to call this like the Family Guy view of the intelligence community, where it's like every horrible thing they've done is like they do it for a week and then they're like, that was crazy, but we like learned our lesson.
Yeah.
Let's not
Just
do it
cutaway
again.
gags.
Yeah.
Hey, Lois, remember when we had a bunch of hookers give people LSD in a bordello?
And one of them killed themselves? All right, next up is the AIDS virus was created and spread around the world on purpose by a secret organization. I mean, I don't
Probably
subscribe
not.
to that one.
I don't really
I never
think
really
so.
saw the angle on that one, honestly.
Yeah. It's like incomplete.
And then finally, the coronavirus was purposely created and released by powerful people as part of a conspiracy.
Released, I don't know, but created, that's absolutely on the table. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's up for grabs there.
Yeah. I mean, that one, it's just, I have some problems with the overall narrative fitting it in. I mean, like, certainly the result of it being rampaging across the planet, you could look at it and say, like, the consolidation of wealth among the, like, tiny elite of the, global capitalist class has been rather staggering. But that doesn't necessarily mean they did it on purpose. It's rather, capitalism, every disaster is an opportunity.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing that's the thing that doesn't move me about any of the intentional release ideas, is that they don't need to do that. The Great Reset already fucking happened 40 years ago. Like, we are depoliticized and scattered enough that we are at basically their will able to be reorganized as crises accumulate, which they're just going to keep doing.
And I mean, I think like the most, I mean, like whether it's AIDS or coronavirus, I think like the most. I think the most credible explanation for these novel viruses that become these plagues upon humanity is like at some point it just crosses over from animals into people, and this is once again largely a product of industrial agriculture on a certain level. And when it comes to things like the SARS or in COVID, and I think like it's the animal to human crossover is I think like. Whether it happens organically or whether you think a fucking someone did it on purpose,
right?
But
I mean, if it did get out of a lab, like they're doing that game of function shit because we're constantly just spitting in God's face every day, daring the natural world to spit one of these things back at us.
Yep, and believe me, they're going to be spitting back a lot in the decades to come.
Yeah.
All right, so next conspiracy question. Some conspiracy theories are like astrology. Entertaining nonsense that ultimately doesn't hurt anyone. You see the disrespect they have for women in the Washington Post here?
Yeah, honestly.
You see the
better.
sexism on display here? Oh, astrology is entertaining nonsense? I'd love to see your fucking moon sign, buddy.
Yeah,
I got a good idea about what it is.
I'm getting word that the Washington Post now has fewer female subscribers than we do.
It says, okay, but some are entertaining but ultimately don't hurt anyone. But some are bizarre, sinister, or downright offensive. Which of these statements, if any, is correct? School shootings, such as those in Newtown, Connecticut and Parkland, Florida, are false flag attacks perpetrated by the government. Now, I personally do not believe that school shootings are false flag attacks perpetrated by the government. However, I do believe many other mass shootings are.
Absolutely. It's interesting how, once again, they pick like, the one where all the kids got killed, and of course the one where psychos attached to Alex Jones like harassed family members.
Did you see
the
that
most
story?
repulsive thing. You're like, oh no, of course not. Meanwhile, the fact that the FBI every other day has a string of dudes whose job is just to be constantly texting the most unstable people they can find on Facebook and tell them, hey, dude, you should definitely shoot some people today.
They literally had like a neat, and we're like, here's a hot girl telling you to do a terrorist attack.
And hey, remember when Stephen Paddock's brother went on the news the day after he shot like 700 people and was like, yeah, there's no reason he would do this. None of it makes sense. And like the next day his house burned down and the FBI was like, he had 1 billion files of child pornography on his computer. Matt, I know you know, like you put me on that story about that QAnon dad whose kid was at Parkland and he's like he's at war with his kid and he thinks his kid is a crisis actor.
Like, goddamn. That is being on the computer too much.
That's taking the pill. Next question. Satanic sex traffickers control the government. I mean, fact.
Yeah.
I was saying Epstein in the first question. I don't know if they're satanic or not. I mean,
satanic.
That's like a term of art.
I think
That's
sort of
license.
Like the theater kids amongst them are. The ones who like the robes and the pageantry are. But like most of them are like Nixon. They're like, get that shit out of here. I just want to have sex with some children.
Yeah.
And none of the above. That's clearly the correct answer. I'm interested in like what their response is to satanic sex traffickers control the government. Wrong. This theory might seem ridiculous, but Americans have long blamed Satanists for the country's problems. 1 in 7 Americans believe this theory in October 2020. All right. Question 5. Let's try another one. Which of these 3 statements below is true? The U.S. government knew hundreds of black men in Alabama had syphilis, but told them they had bad blood and withheld treatment as part of a medical experiment. Obviously true. That's the Tuskegee experiment. I think everyone pretty much knows about that. Next one. President Donald Trump faked having COVID in order to help his chances at re-election. I mean, once again, I don't care if it's true or not.
Yeah, once again, it's like more initiative than he generally showed at any part of the job.
Yeah, it feels fake because like that's not, he wouldn't do like the bulk. If he was like faking having COVID, like he would have like walked around in a bathrobe and stuff.
For me, it's the thing about him asking if he's going out like Stan Shera.
That proves he really has.
That is a truthful, existential peel from a terrified soul.
That's when I was like talking about the Stan Shera thing once. This like, you know, one of those like based like young conservatives was like, "Oh, you're a lib if you believe that," and it's like, I think I know way more about the guy you supposedly love.
Exactly. Do you really like this guy at all?
You don't know any of his like. No, this is the first guy he would bring up.
You think some fucking dork from like the Washington Post or one of the leaking aides knows who fucking Stan Shera is?
That's like how I knew it was true.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's, of course he would bring up Stan Shera. Yeah. Like, no, that's, a guy he ate like a cumulative, like 3 million pounds of hamburgers with.
Yeah. And then it also means that if he faked it, he would have had to think, okay, well, if I was dying of coronavirus, what would I think? Am I going out with Stan Shera? No, it would never occur to him that he would think that. He would think he was going to say something cool and not about a round old real estate man.
We saw like him like trying to like lie that directly after the Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and he did the funniest video of all time when he's like,
"This is the first time hearing
this.
What an amazing lady!" It's like, he's just like that type of lying. He's not
a particularly
really
good liar.
Yeah.
Okay. Last
because
one.
he's not like quite like self-aware enough to be a good liar. He's not like the type of person who's like, oh, okay, I'm like kind of a bad guy. Like, what would I say here if I was in this situation?
I mean, he lies constantly, but he lies like a child does, not with any sort of preconceived, like no.
It's just reflex.
Yeah, exactly. Reflective without any kind of plan or contemplation.
Yeah, there's no premeditation. Yeah. It's just he's just in the moment. And he's like, I'll get out of this. Last one here. Donald Trump colluded with Russians to steal the presidency in 2016. Again, just don't give a shit one way or the other.
Yeah, honestly.
But
we had it coming. If that guy and that country stole an election for the presidency, then fucking take a bow.
Yeah, losing one to like Yeah, losing one to James Baker and like that whole cabal is like understandable. It's like, yeah, those guys have been fucking.
Both teams played hard.
Yeah, those guys have been fucking everyone forever. Like, of course they won, but like if like Russia does it, it's like you suck.
Yeah.
Like
We
fuck,
deserve
like we
it,
just
yeah.
shouldn't
Shouldn't have a country.
Russia and the stupidest idiot on earth.
I think it should be
Yeah.
like soccer in Europe. Like if that were true of America, we need to get derelegated to like from the Premier League to like
Absolutely.
Champions League.
Take
or
our
something
nuclear
like that.
weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the correct answer here again is telling because they're like, yeah, everybody knows about the Tuskegee experiment. Started in 1932, lasted 40 years, and involved hundreds of black men in Macon County, Alabama. I just love the things that they like just breezily admit that we all know are true, but then they're just like, yeah, there's no way Jeffrey Epstein was murdered.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the government did knowingly allow hundreds of black men to like suffer the effects of syphilis as part of a human guinea pig medical experiment that carried over decades. Yes, Reagan absolutely broke the law, funding illegal revolutionaries and selling
this shit that was-
selling arms to Iran. They're like, oh yeah, we all know that's true, but like, oh, like these other things are just like, oh, that that we'd be lied to about how poisonous our food is. No way.
Well, like that's the most sober-minded thing to think is that like every bad thing stopped happening 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Like on the
It is
dot.
no longer. The important thing is like you have to be enough of a realist to say yes, the government has done bad things, corporations have done bad things, but you can't take that to the conclusion that because these entities are completely unchecked. And the bad stuff they did back then was because there was no oversight, which continues to be the case. You can't bring it now because what does that mean then? What if that's true? Then you can't care about the stupid pageantry politics bullshit that they insist you have to care about.
I mean, like their answer for the MK Ultra one, where they're like, yes, the U.S. government did conduct mind control experiments using LSD. It was called MK Ultra. It ended in 1970. All right, last conspiracy question. Conspiracy theories often help powerful people, sometimes by putting other powerful people in the crosshairs, or by playing on prejudices. Which of these statements is correct? Number one. A powerful family, the Rothschilds, through their wealth, controls governments, wars, and many countries' economies. I mean, I love this question because it's like, okay, it's clear what's going on right now. They're like, oh, it's playing on bigotry. It's like the Rothschilds is like, this is a long staple of like, anti-Semitic conspiracy theory lore. But like, just take out the name Rothschilds and just read this question. A powerful families, through their wealth, control governments, wars, and many countries' economies. Like, unassailably true.
Yeah.
And you could like whether it's George Soros or the Kochs or fucking like whoever you want to slot in there, that even the Rothschilds, like it's all fucking true.
Yeah.
How could you possibly say otherwise?
Yeah.
If you like click yes on that, the like little correction you get is like, oh really? If they're so powerful, how come J Electronica destroyed one of their marriages?
Wait, what?
You don't know about that?
No.
J Electronica, like a Rothschild woman, like had an affair with him and like left her husband. He's awesome. He rocks. One of the best verses on Donda. Ruined at least like maybe two Rothschilds' lives. Maybe if I don't know if she had kids, maybe more. I don't know what, but like he rocks. He's the fucking.
I'm just
man.
gonna think of what they tell you. Wrong. This theory relies on openly anti-Semitic tropes. No family and no country has the power this theory attributes to the Rothschilds.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, the next one, this is even better. There is a, quote, deep state embedded in the government that operates in secret and without oversight.
Where?
Yeah.
What is the oversight that these people think exists for agencies
FISA.
like the NSA
It's literally
and the
just
CIA?
FISA. FISA.
Congress.
That's it. They
Matt, they're
always
talking
just
about
bring up
Congress.
the FISA court. That's
Well,
it.
let's see here. It says, wrong. For much of the past 4 years, Republicans have speculated that a deep state was working to undermine President Donald Trump. While the FBI and CIA do conduct covert operations, there's little evidence for a separate deep state. Oh, there's only a little evidence for it. Oh, okay. But what I like about this one is like this whole idea of the deep state, they contain it to just 4 years when Donald Trump was president. And it's like, it's only Rube MAGA
doesn't
people
have
who
any
believe
other
in that.
accusations behind it. Certainly couldn't have anything to do with things like, I don't know, keeping tabs on Martin Luther King or dosing people with LSD to see what happens. Like, who the fuck do they think did that shit? And how accountable were they when it just got found out and then they just said, we're never going to do it again, we promise, and nobody went to jail?
Okay, final conspiracy question. Fossil fuel companies like Exxon knew about climate change for decades, but spread misinformation about the issue to deflect blame and influence environmental policies. Correct. Exxon and Shell knew about climate change in the 80s, and some fossil fuel companies have fought to obscure climate science. Their efforts have paid off. 2 in 10 Americans think global warming is a hoax. It's good, though. They did all that shit, but it's okay because we know about it and they've been held accountable.
Well, and also, Exxon found out a long time ago that their product is actually really bad for people and the world, and they just sat on it and actually put out spent money to smokescreen the truth. Meanwhile, Monsanto, if they knew that their corn slurry was bad for people, they would absolutely fess up immediately.
And the same thing as a deep state. We have oversight and accountability in the American political system. So, the idea that a company like Exxon could just lie about something like that and then get away with it, you'd have to be pretty. I wasn't born. I'm young, but I wasn't born yesterday.
Yeah.
So there we go. That is the conspiracy score. Not really. Our final score doesn't really matter here, but it says here 9 in 10 Americans would likely fail at least once taking this quiz. Even reasonable people fall for conspiracy theories.
Who are the 10%? I want to meet those people
who got every question on this right.
Yeah. The good boys and girls.
Yeah, if you did a heat map of who's getting every question right, it's just all Darien, Connecticut, and Nova.
Yep, and
everyone else.
The people who
failing.
got every question on the 10% who got every question right are involved in the conspiracies that these things are about.
They were also proud of themselves that they went to work that day and I'm going to get an extra.
No, they're also proud
piece of bread with my Caesar salad at Chopped today.
Matt, they're actually proud of themselves for not going to work on one day in particular.
Yeah, the guy who was working the phone bank that day is I know these are conspiracies.
It says here, during George W. Bush's presidency, half of Democrats said Bush let the 9/11 attacks happen so he could start wars.
Democrats
that's
used to be
half of Democrats.
No,
that's
Democrats
cool.
And now half of Democrats want him on the Democratic ticket.
75% of Democrats would give their life for the NSA. There's no more based libs. There's no more Ed Asner's. It used to be, man, libs used to be awesome because we've talked about this before, but it's that is what my dad was like, and a lot of other boomers, where it's they don't have really a systemic critique, but just because of their when they grew up and everything, they have an inherent distrust of the CIA and the military. They're not like that anymore.
Yeah,
they don't make them that way anymore.
The orange Cheeto had his effect.
Even before that, though, they were Obama's the coolest man ever.
So, but
although that Obama, another reason why Obama's so evil. My dad thought all this cool shit like that, and then he was Obama's a hell of a guy, and it's man.
He's a firecracker.
Yeah.
I want to make his clit insane.
Yeah. Obama really he really did a number on the based boomer libs.
But this is the Washington Post though, so this paragraph has to be balanced out. We got to have both sides here. So half of Democrats believed at one point that Bush let the 9/11 attacks happen so he could start wars. Again, I don't know how anyone could possibly argue against that.
It's ridiculous.
In 2021. But also, if you're a Democrat, don't feel bad, because 2/3 of Republicans believe the, quote, big lie that the 2020 election was stolen from Donald Trump. Now, I personally don't think there's even a shred of credibility to the idea that, but after everything we just talked about, is it not possible?
Well, that's just
they
it.
can steal a presidential election from anyone.
This whole thing is to chide you for believing these things. Meanwhile, how about some stuff that they didn't even put in there, like that the U.S. government lied to start a war in the Middle East, which happened right in front of everybody's fucking face in living memory of most adults, and had a giant economic collapse that was responded to by a bipartisan recapitalization of the very bankers that fucking had it happen in the first place. Why the hell wouldn't people believe this shit? And they have to turn it into you're just being too gullible. You're not being rational enough. Meanwhile, the purveyors of rationality show you every fucking day that their vested interest is to keep you believing horseshit, to keep you pliant to these fucking forces.
Well, Matt, the last paragraph here says, eventually, you'll run into a conspiracy theory that appeals to you, politically or psychologically. So be careful and double check your sources, or you could fall down the rabbit hole too.
So what? What if I do? Are you going to give me an F? Am I going to get a bad grade from the Washington Post? I'm going to be held back? Fuck off.
Yeah.
And literally, all they have is the good people are going to think poorly of you. Well, I fucking think you eat babies. Why would I give a shit what you think?
No. Bob Woodward's going to come to your house and personally scold you for believing that he's a CIA
and I want to
agent.
talk to him about his time with the fucking Office of Naval Intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, you're not invited to the news rave. I'm going. Fuck you. I got these special pressed mollies that are shaped like all Arthur Seltzerberg.
Arthur Seltzerberg, inventor of White Claw.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn up. Fuck you. You're gonna be outside.
Oh yeah. I'm mincing a new NFT. It's Catherine Graham, but she's a stork and she's smoking weed.
You know,
it's worth $80,000.
Will, you know that I run like the Moody's of NFT. Like I'm the like what bond rating is for like financial instruments that make sense. I evaluate dopeness. That gets 3 dopes.
So there we go.
You know FaZe Banks?
Of course.
The star of my favorite video of all time. He made like $900,000 in like one night off NFTs.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Forget all that shit you're talking about, aesthetics and art and stuff. That is why people fucking do it. Because you could be the one to get in before it falls apart or it gets rug pulled or whatever the fuck.
That proves that these are like legit.
I mean, they're legit if you make money.
Oh, if you made almost $1 million off of him, and that's about as legit as it gets.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is the thing, though. It's like he commands like a captive audience and could be like, these are dope, and like send the value up.
Yeah, that's why this is so great, because it's like there's like they're basically their pump and dumps turned into a security. Like, and
that's all legal.
They have mechanisms to allow you, if you have the right clout, to manipulate a market legally. Who the hell wouldn't want to do that?
This would be like NFTs are like it allows you to do all the cool shit that should be legal in the stock market.
Yes.
Like, if I'm Jordan Belfort, I should just like hold a press conference and just say Pepsi causes AIDS, and then I short Pepsi stock.
Yeah.
Like before I do that. Like you should be allowed to do that. That's how you make it fun.
Especially
with
since
this,
Pepsi does cause AIDS.
Yeah.
This you could say, the fucking hippo head is fucking whack. Sell. Lazy orangutan. That's dope. Buy.
We don't have like a FaZe Bank sized audience. We have a pretty captive one. Like when we've asked our audience to do like good things, they've done it.
Yeah.
Like they like every fundraising thing, like working for Bernie, like all that shit, they've like always done it. They're like a good audience. What if we made an NFT of like one of those pictures where Patrick is like asleep on the floor outside? We would make so much.
Oh yeah.
If we like told our audience it's dope.
Yeah.
NFT of the photo Amber took of Matt dressed like a 3-year-old next to a 3-year-old that's like that's wearing the exact same outfit as him.
That honestly could make some money.
Yeah.
All right, well let's do it.
Let's do it, boys.
Let's do it. Is there any reason not to at this point?
I mean, it is. I wouldn't do it.
We just talked about the global supply chains are breaking down, so I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
The only like defensible reason to do this would be like you're taking money, like you're maximizing your profit from like a junk made up asset like NFTs, and you immediately get out and you put it into like a good asset, like a good financial instrument like slots or blackjack or roulette. That would be cool.
No,
otherwise no.
As long as I still draw breath, there will never be any Chapo NFTs or cryptocurrencies.
No.
I can't do it.
Next week we will be killing Will. Live on Twitch TV/Chapo Trap House.
And then the Washington Post will say I committed suicide, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, look at the motive. Cui bono, who benefits? It's Felix.
Yeah. I'm going to join the deep state, and they're going to be like, I'm going to get, like, in 10 years, they'll be like, don't go to work today. And I'll be like, what do you mean?
I don't work.
What the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry. You have like a similar name to this guy that like goes to an office. I'm like, all right, peace. I'll see you at the news rave.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think that does it